Hi and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning steam for an Major League Baseball American League Championship Series Sunday. Did I say it? Yeah, it's time to find out who's going to be the two teams to make it to the World Series. Yeah, we're going to talk football, but don't forget, today we're back underway. Rangers and Astros tonight. It's a night game tonight. Don't panic, anybody. We're not going to run our, you know, WNBA finals game right up against the NFL again. They're in the uh, playoffs still, the championship finals. We'll talk Liberty and Aces, but we'll talk NFL football. You see Blake here in the chat, and uh, could sit here and wait for a few more people to get here, but we're waiting for the football game to start from London, and it's the Titans in action against the Ravens. Important game from London. And just to get some NFL news, we could talk college football too if anybody wants to rehash any events from yesterday. I mean, there was just so much going on, it'll make your head spin. So we don't need to, recap the winners or losers. Hello to Solo here today. But how did your day go? I started off with heavy volume and just couldn't get any momentum going. We had a winning day here with premiums, but just felt as if I couldn't get enough momentum to really power into the night uh, with confidence. So today I feel great though. It's NFL Sunday. That's usually about winning with me. And I'll show you all about that in just a moment. Maybe we'll go over to tonyspicks.com and see who did uh, crush the board yesterday. And okay, Solo, 11 and 6. You'll take that. And hockey mixed bag. It was just such a big card, but I don't know. I think we went 9 and 8 on the show. No premiums for me just yet. Uh, with a card, with such an attractive card, also in NFL tonight. Two games on the ice tonight. We'll look at them as well. So I'm gonna head over to Tony'sPicks.com. Blake, oh Blake, I wish we should have hashed it out more, maybe with the Vols, because I mean, I could sit here and tell you I took them in pocket. That's my prerogative. I could just say I won $1 million on the uh, Commodores, but that wasn't the case. But I did just feel like it was more about the rough spot for Georgia, so did take uh, Vandy yesterday, a little in pocket action. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but who wanted to go out there with a public opinion yesterday on Vandy? So hey, let me just pass along. We had some fun yesterday. I thought with some of the Steam plays. I don't know what you guys thought of it, and maybe we could have that go on it. I'm not saying it's a distraction to me. I want to know when the Steam comes up, but there was just some NBA Steam this morning just coming through on the Miami Heat. They're getting a point from Memphis. It's probably a pick 'em by now. I'm seeing a little movement here. Just came through on the old um, odd screen, and pass that along to you. Don't think we'll get around to handicapping those games, but maybe we'll throw out a few picks. We had some winners last night. It's just easier to talk about the, preseason because there's not a million games like there was in college football. But Solo talking about USC yesterday, and that was another that. Oh, maybe I balked correctly there, because these night games were just very tough for me, to get involved with premium wise. And I'm not saying it's the nature of a night game, but you know how it is with the featured matchups, and even in USC and Notre Dame. But yeah, Notre Dame just absolutely destroyed. I know the guys across the street like that, like the Irish, pretty heavy in that one. So good job, guys, to them. I saw a lot of our fellow Cappers over there taking Notre Dame yesterday. And the late game, I'm a little beat. And with wasn't a we got a big NFL card, but we've tackled some games. We don't have a lot of games actually to preview, maybe about 10 or 12, if that. So I said, I'm going to stay up for this San Diego State game tonight, and maybe I got my, worth my 2 or 3 hours that maybe I would have crashed on a late Saturday night because of the how the weekend goes. But um, you know, I was entertained to say the least. If you're looking for a good, if I was looking for good teams and good football, I wouldn't be watching that game necessarily. But you saw San Diego State come back and blow it, and Schrager he can chuck it. I mean, like I said, that Hawaii team, they try to emulate the old days a little bit. But if you didn't stay up, San Diego State beat Hawaii 41-34 in the bailout game of the night. The situation, there was that, came kind of close to the little too close to comfort for a lot of people with that game, with the range that the spread came into play, but ended up being, I think, 41-34. Here comes a little more NBA steam. And guys, this NBA steam is so crucial that these games do move a lot, and you might actually be able to set up some middles there. So even if you plug down just a few dollars on the game, 20, 50, whatever. This is NBA preseason. Like I said, we're not going crazy at all. I don't want anybody doing anything, unless you're a baller. You can put a nickel or so, go the limit. Probably get a 2 dime limit on an NBA preseason game. I would think in some of the books, because they don't want to get crushed by you guys. Airplane Boop here today. Hi. Always great to have you. Sacramento just got steamed in their game tonight. They are playing Golden State at home. They're getting two. They're probably getting one now. That's where the move is. NBA preseason move here on Sacramento. They were getting two. They're now a pick 'em against Golden State tonight. So if you get anything better than that, now there you go, Solo. Of course, in an NFL game, we can go big. We can just plug down some nice bets down and feel totally comfortable. And I love the card tonight, so of course I love the NFL card every time. And I better get the game ready here. I'm going to keep it out of the corner of my eye here as we get rolling. But you can pick up my play on the game if you want. We did preview the game on the show earlier in the week. So if you were here, I think that Blake was here. I'm on the Titans, of course, in that game. I'm on the Titans on the money line. I was on another show. Well, on another channel. This is my channel, the $40,000 subscriber powerhouse. Hey, tell your friends if you can, or somehow let's try to get Tony there this week. We are just 300 plus, I believe, subscribers away from reaching that 40,000, and I'd love to help Tony. We've helped him. Look, he's done all the work. I am so grateful to be on the 40,000 subscriber powerhouse that is the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. But we've got him help. We helped him there. Mindy and I and Tiffany and Ben and Collins and all the crew get a few more subscribers. Tony does all the legwork. He does all the heavy lifting, but let's get him there to 40,000. We know that there are megawatt over there across it, but you know what? This is great for Tony, and looking forward to that. That's going to happen very soon. It's going to happen this month, and maybe we can get it there sooner. I don't know how to go viral. I have seen. We'll get started with the show, but you ever been in a chat room that has gotten raided before? I have been, where it's not a terrible thing, really. What happens is there are actually groups of people. I'm sure there are bad groups, but some people will take like a whole group of followers into a chat room and then like everyone likes and subscribes. I'm not just saying that make you guys like and subscribe. There, we got 3 dozen of you in here, about almost here, coming in on the different. But they all pile in and they all start hitting like, and they send a bunch of positive comments and everything. It's quite a phenomenon actually. But we could do that to Tony. We'd get there today. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and just take a look, see how everyone did yesterday with the picks on Saturday. Big, big card, big action. Um, I, I kind of wanted to go a little bit stronger to a certain extent, but I was heavy volume and kind of wanted to go a little deeper, but the momentum wasn't going. I was questioning. All right, never question yourself. I'm the leading handicapper. I'll show you. But just honest, transparent. That's the way I'm trying to. That's the Tony way. Chauncey Giles, congratulations, Chauncey, on another fine day. He's making a big splash here on the network as a new capper with us. But this is the biggest day so far for Chauncey. 4-0 yesterday with his premium picks. Nick Lagaretos, 3-1. Daniel Walasachuk, 4-1. Tiffany Mance, she's going to be heavily involved on a college football Saturday, 7-4. Hollywood Sam, 67%. Mindy's going to be firing. Should have looked to see what she had here, but 19-15 on the day. I know she'd want. She gave herself a chance. Still going to end up in the profit. That's all you can do. That's all we can do. Ben Ruhala, 67%. Marlo Pettis won his only play on the huge Saturday card. And, well, I found myself. There I am, 9-7, including UFC main event, UFC card yesterday, I should say, where I had a couple of winners there, but really didn't get it going like two really. Okay, here we go. Ralph Raymond, 3-2. I won't harp on it. They don't like when I, critique the losses a little bit, but it is what it is. Still going to be up there. Let's take a look. For the last 7 days, we got Ben Ruhala here, 38-25 over the last 7 days, nearly 13 units of profit. Joseph Schultz, hey, watch out for this guy coming from the network, you guys. So far, big impact on the leaderboards. We know that because of their new arrivals of some cappers here on the network that we do want to get a sample size, but this is starting to populate pretty good for Joseph. Looks pretty solid. It's had some pretty big underdog winners too. Look at this, a 10-4 record, and he's up nearly 12 units. So looks like he's had some dogs in there. Maybe I don't know, man, 150s or so. I didn't look, but feels like some plus 150s or maybe 175 or maybe a 200 or two in there. Good job, Joseph. There's Chauncey, 14-9, Nick Lagaretos, and I'm up there. Still, 435 over the last 7 days, and over the last 30 days, I'm on top of the handicapper leaderboard still, plus 26 units. Hollywood Sam, actually doing far better if you think about it. He's got a 21 units there, 21 and a half units, and nearly half the volume. So Ben Ruhala up there, nearly 10 units. Joseph Schultz, 7 3/4 units, and Chauncey Giles. So you see those new cappers there on the leaderboard. Hey, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks here for the action on Sunday. I'm going to hopefully give you some more free winners in just a moment. There's Tony's video there for the big Astros Rangers game tonight. Too bad we couldn't get Verlander against Scherzer in the opener, but it'll still be a good matchup. Check the premium picks tab. 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs from our team of handicappers. You got Ben here today with his packages up and ready to roll. Hollywood Sam today as well. Got 3-packs right there, including the best bet in those packages, apparently. And there's an early window 5-pack for me and for Mindy as well. A 3-pack today for just $25. Check it out. Hey, check out my 5-pack. Here it is. I'll show you the NFL record. Maybe I'm trying to do just a little commercial here before we get rolling. It's almost kickoff too, just 8 minutes away from our Ravens Texans game. But get my five top plays from the early card. I'm up 1565 in the last 30 days with my NFL premium picks, and I've got a 5 pack ready to roll. And also, I have in action this game. Let me just pop it up here. If you know what you're doing with NFL London game here, then by all means put it in the chat. Let us know what you got. But I've got my premium pick here. I just told you I'm on the Titans here to stay in this one, and you know I sprinkled the money line as well. I think there's some additional variance here. I don't think that you go straight to the power ratings in a game like this. A little bit of uh, leveling off a little bit when two teams meet at a neutral site thousands of miles away. So I'm on the Titans to have a better game here today and kind of keep things trying to get that momentum back a little bit. One bummer piece of news today we saw was Anthony Richardson might miss the entire season. That's a bummer, but like I said in week one, once you're injury prone, it's a hard label to lose. Richardson was getting injured every single game, it seemed like. And, you know, it feels like the same thing will happen when he comes back. I don't want to jinx a guy. All right. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. I see your comments coming in here. There we go. Sorry about that. Awkward. Like I said, just having a little bit of getting some needed a new power cords. I'm not operating some different computers. I know I actually got a notice the from the crew that I was making some noises with papers, I think, near the computer. So hopefully, let me know if you hear that today in the chat. And you guys were kind enough, didn't even mention it, or I don't know if you heard it, but over the last couple of days, some papers rustling because I'm a little cramped here all of a sudden with my setup and was tucking a paper, I think, under the computer uh, with like this. I think. Let me see. Does it sound like this, you guys? Right? And I think that noise itself was coming across. So if I'm looking away a little bit, I'll get everything back square. I believe probably by Wednesday. I had to order a new cable. Okay, here we go. We're going to preview the games. I kind of want to talk more college football, but this is a preview show, and just we did have some decent winners on the day, but there was a lot of action. We talked college football all week. Let's get started. And we'll just leave the commercial behind too because of that little bump there on taking me off the air. All right, appreciate you guys coming in. Let's get started. I've been kept you here waiting 20 minutes to try to get some winners, and I've lost half of you. Here we go. That's what this is. Hey, it's all a learning experiment for me. We'll get what you need. But let's start with the most important game on the card today, the Rangers and the Astros tonight at 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. As we get ready to roll in the American League with a great uh, series with the two Texas teams. Kind of crazy if you think about it. When I was young, the Astros were in the National League. Well, it hasn't been that long since they moved to the American League, but you have Jordan Montgomery. Um, I don't know who saw this coming other than maybe Jordan Montgomery. He's a confident man, and I'm not just making conversation. If you've heard his interviews, and he deserves this success. He's 3-0 with a 1.66 ERA in his last 6 starts now, just when the Rangers needed him. They acquired him. Uh, you know, could have just when you look at a guy like Jordan Montgomery when he came over, right? You say, well, just like anything with him, if he ever pitched to his potential, he would, look. I mean, look at his uh, when he came, when he entered the major leagues and had some success, and the talk about what he could become. Well, I think this is what we're getting right now. I mean, all you can do is be at your maybe career peak in the postseason. So hats off to Jordan Montgomery here for being in this position that he's in. Sure, he's had some modest major league success. I mean, anytime you can pitch well enough and end up going from a team like the Cardinals to the Yankee. I mean, you're doing something right, right? You're a, you know upper echelon major league pitcher, not an elite, but I mean a top uh, you know pitcher, a rotation pitcher in the major leagues, making a lot of starts. So we know Justin Verlander's a Hall of Famer, and he's pitching like it right now, a 0.47 ERA in his last three starts. But I've got runs in this one. I'm just maybe, I don't even know if it's necessarily contrarian, is it? The total is 8.5, you guys. I mean, how disrespectful of me to not even have the line. Did you guys even say anything up here? First time to the show, guys. The Astros here are favorite, $1.40 or so. Let me make sure and pop the line in on the screen. Getting ready for the national anthems over there. Uh, Anthems. Uh, got to have "God Save the King." Don't forget. Got to change. He had to change the words since Elizabeth passed away. Okay, so 135 ish. I'm showing it actually. The move appears to be on Texans. The total 8.5 over 15 here in this one with Montgomery and Verlander. So, yeah. So for me, I know it's 8.5, and you think of it. I mean, if you just looked at the starters, right? There's no question you'd have to think under, wouldn't you? In this one, with these guys both really elite numbers of late, but Verlander, for all his success, has gone over in 7 of his last 11 starts. Hey, a little steam coming in right now on a hockey game tonight. Want to just pass it along, even though we're talking baseball. Want to get these when they happen. We might keep this on and let that be part of the show. I mean, after all, this is the morning steam, isn't it? Uh, Carolina and Anaheim. This one is currently on the move over. We've already seen steam come in on Carolina today on that game. I know we're talking baseball here, but this is urgent news. This is we might need a breaking news steam, like breaking news. Anybody watch the guy here on YouTube who narrates the news off of Twitter? I mean, he's a serious guy, but he reads like it's not like he's reading tweets of, but like the conflict in Gaza, for example, and he'll be, this reporter says, but breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Carolina and Anaheim has just been hit on here on the over. It was already upwards of 6.5 under, I do believe, but now we're seeing it move higher here to, well, looks like 6 over 25 still for the most part. Carolina's already been hit in that game up to nearly $3 at some books, including DraftKings, showing 298 currently. Opened maybe lower at some spots, maybe as low as 255. I show it Bet Online, but who really had a chance at any of those numbers? Carolina's a $3 favorite tonight at Anaheim. All right, let's continue on here with the Rangers and the Astros tonight. Texas has won 13 of 17 coming in. Astros have won 8 of 10. Of course, these teams are going to be a little bit hotter. Astros have tasted that success. They've tasted that champagne. Champs in 2019, champs in 2021. They have the home field advantage here. They're in the playoffs for the seventh time in a row. Verlander, a ton of playoff experience, but he's been fine. He's been good. He's been, you always know you're facing a strong lineup. I think that's one thing why Verlander, he's got a 3.54 ERA in his 35 career playoff starts, but he's dominated Texas in his career. 21-8 with a 2.60 ERA. Uh, for Montgomery now, just 3 playoff starts is basically just getting his playoff career going, and where he's pretty much in the middle of his career. 2.55 ERA in 3 playoff starts. Got 3.73 ERA in his career against Houston in 6 starts. And for Texas, of course, here, uh, this is a great run, and they don't have a lot of postseason experience. Hello to Ray. Hello to Ferner. Hello to Kevin. He says Tony seems like a good guy. You know what? I've said this to his, the guy you see on screen is exactly pretty much the guy you get, and that's a good thing. All right, I better make the call here in this one, and maybe I hinted at what I was doing there with uh, the game total being set currently at 8.5. There were some talk of some nines. I don't think I ever saw it necessarily as I kick the game off right now from London. And the Ravens will have the ball first. So, all right. For me, it's going to be in this one. I kind of wanted to go with the total here on the show, but I'm going to go with the Astros here, especially now. A little bit of a dip in price at $1.31 here offshore currently, but I'm going to take Verlander in this one and the big bats of the Astros right now. They really seem to be mashing pretty well here at this point. Guys you almost don't want to pitch to. Look, the Rangers got great bats too. Everything. This is going to be a strong series, and we'll see what happens in the National League with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. And Blake says, "Is it East Coast teams that mostly play in London?" Yes, and although the NFL has never, um, I don't think they've ever publicly. It does look to me like they do take more teams. I don't think they've ever said that that is the case. And well, what can you say? That most teams are actually, east of the Mississippi. So it could be a coincidence. We've certainly seen, you know, some of the West teams there, but great point by Blake. Okay, Ray says he'll go over, right? And that's just it, Ray. It just feels like, yeah, these pitchers are great. Hey, Sincere Gifted. Hi, nice to see you. Where you been? And Sincere Gifted says the weather conditions could be playing a part here in this one. Um, I uh, I don't know. In Minute Maid is they're indoors, right? Or it's a retractable anyway. So, anyways, but when I look at the lineup here, though, against Montgomery, the Astros, they're my number 3 lineup currently coming in, and I certainly think that they have some strong advantages here against him. However, with some of the bats, especially Altuve, Bregman, and Abreu, it's not actually a great matchup for Alvarez and Tucker, but doesn't really matter with those guys, I would think. Meanwhile, against Verlander, he has some interesting splits, and I do think the issue here probably could be several of the bats in the middle of the lineup that I don't like tonight here against Verlander. I'm talking about Seager. I'm talking about maybe Grossman, maybe Carter, maybe Jonah High. And so that's why I'll just be on the Astros here in this one. In game one doesn't I think taking the Astros in game one puts me on the Astros in the series. I don't think there's anything for me to be had uh, in the series. And I think I'm being on the show here. I feel like I want to make a pick And I guess I think I'm going to take the Astros to win the series. But I'd be on here saying, hey, I like this team or whatever. Hopefully, it's a 7 gamer. Little more steam just came in, you guys. It's in the NBA. If you want another play that maybe could be going down here, Chicago and Denver under. Like I said, these aren't plays. I'm just giving you this information. But with these type of moves, um, what you're going to get are immediate movers, and you could get on these and maybe get some value. Chicago Bulls, Denver Nuggets under 222. It's already 220 and a half, 220 and 220 at some spots. So if you can get that 222 still, you're going to get some CLV. All right, Darren, ready to go over. He likes points to be scored today. And he's talking, look who you're talking to, Darren. I don't know here. Uh, well, I won't say that because NFL. eh, Look, one thing it could be right. Everybody wants to pick a winner, and I love totals. I'm trying to win, and I end up on a lot of totals in NFL football with my premium picks. I mean, probably 3 out of 4, if not more, maybe 4 out of 5 are totals. And uh, talking shop with you guys a little. Does it hurt business? Maybe it does. People want winning team, but I want to win bets. And to me, predicting the total in an NFL game seems to be easier than than sides, especially in the NFL. Right? I mean, come on. That's why we love it. That's why we love the NFL. It's always coming down to the wire. But the totals, for me, that's where I hang my hat. And like I said, pick up the packages there today. Uh, we're going to get into the NFL right now. I think we're done here with um, the baseball pick. Now that Darren's changing the subject and Ferner's talking NHL, but I'll just take the Astros and move on. We got to get started here on football, or not. If you want, maybe at the end of this segment, we could discuss today's games as well, the early games as well on the show, including we're talking about the 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific games, but let's get into the afternoon action here with the Raiders and the Patriots. Oh boy, how the mighty have fallen, and we've had a lot of fun at the Patriots' expense, and now we get the game that provided the highlight of the season last year with that crazy play. Uh, when the Patriots and the Raiders tried to throw the ball across the field. Oh boy, what a disaster that was last season. All right. For the Patriots, they've lost their last 2 games by a combined 72-3, and they've hit almost rock bottom for this franchise right now with their 1-4 record, um, with just losing dismal performances. Like the game has left the franchise behind. Like they said, we can still operate with this type of philosophy and all that. And Mac Jones, 37 starts now. He's got a 17-20 record. So the one thing that we keep doing as handicappers, what I keep hearing, is we want to throw, we want to say, well, we always, Belichick, oh, he always, this is the role. He comes through. And okay, been a few years without Brady, but that was such a large sample size, and there's all the big argument. Oh, was it Brady? Was it Belichick? I don't care. I'm not interested in that argument necessarily. There certainly was a whole method to everything that went on, and we see a field goal here in the game in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with Tucker. Well, we know that Tucker's got a big advantage wherever he goes. He's probably a big hero over there. Blake says Tucker field goal, 3-0. And thank you, Ray, for your pick here as well in this one. But go over to those to England, and Tucker's probably the biggest star of all the players that go over there, right? They're like the stories are probably like Tucker could probably play for Manchester City. All right. Ferner says you can't go over here with these two teams. You're going to be ending up getting a bunch of field goals in this one. And yeah, because the Patriots offense continues to have so many woes. The last three games the Patriots have they've had 38 drives offensively, and you know how many touchdowns they've had? One touchdown in 38 drives for the Patriots. So they're also -8 in turnovers this season. So you'd think the Raiders could win here. I mean, but man, to have to lay some points seems like, I mean, the Raiders are almost a. Here's the funny thing about this whole thing, right? The Raiders have a lot of. We know that they're kind of like the Patriots West to a certain extent. Their coaching staff is filled with former, and all of a sudden, you don't want to be a coaching staff. Don't want to disrespect anybody here in town, but if the Patriots have lost their way and the game's kind of passing the franchise by because they don't realize how things are done nowadays, well, the Raiders are kind of been, acquiring their coaching staff, their personnel here to a certain extent. And so they might not be doing anything either. And maybe the two franchise look, they got Garoppolo, right? Just because he's 42 and 19 as a starting quarterback doesn't necessarily mean that you know he's been. Um, it's kind of like his track record of victories is kind of it was so strong because of the successes that he had that he's starting to get some losses. He's still got a very strong record when people always say, "Oh, Garoppolo." And I've been one of those guys. Oh, you know what I like about Jimmy Garoppolo? He wins games. Well, he's not winning as many games right now, and that's starting to hurt that record a little bit. So, Las Vegas has converted just 10 of their last 37 third down attempts. Raiders have gone 1-4 to the under so far this season, 4 unders in 5 games thus far, and the Patriots have gone under in 4 of their 5 games with a push. Darren says, "Give me the Raiders and pardon me, Raiders and the under." Okay, thanks for bearing with me there. It's a little early. It's a little early. Raiders 13-9 last 22 on games with a spread of 3 points or less. Patriots outgained nearly 700 to 400 in the last 2 games, and I want to take the Raiders here. Just I don't know if I want to lay the points necessarily. Got to make a pick. Got to save the premiums, and uh, I guess I'll play the Raiders here in this one. Doesn't feel very. It feels like it is going to come down to the wire here, and it's going to be like a 1 point game, 1 or 2 point game, and maybe the Patriots can get in there. But it just seems so dismal here at this point. I'm even going to lay points with the Raiders, and that does not feel that comfortable. But uh, something broken with the Patriots. And look, I even said, and I say it almost in jest now. Why not bring in Bailey Zappi? It can't hurt at this point. But Bailey Zappi is not the answer really at this point. I mean, the Patriots tried to cut Bailey Zappi, and they ended up bringing him back to be the backup. So they weren't satisfied at all. In fact, I did see actually that the Patriots signed the former Louisville quarterback yesterday, I think. Malik Cunningham. I was going to Google it here. That's Malik Cunningham, and I, I'm not against it at this point. We'll see. I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife kind of guy. It might not I don't know if they're bringing him in to be a quarterback. I think that ship has sailed, but it was something to note because Malik Cunningham can certainly play quarterback. And maybe Malik Cunningham is actually coming in to think he is going to be able to compete for the backup job or uh, take snaps or whatever. So, all right, I'll take the Patriots. The lesser, I don't know if they're not. It's not the lesser of two evils. Of course not. The Raiders are. They, uh, they represent evil. All right, here we go. Hopefully, that's a compliment to you Raider fans out there. New England won 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. So, all right. And of course, they lost last year. Trying to remember that. I mean, everybody's talked about it all week. Well, okay. The Patriots were. Remember, they caught the ball, and who was it that was trying to throw it back across the field? And Chandler Jones intercepted it. Remember, and Chandler Jones, went crazy and drove himself out of the league just within the last couple of weeks. Okay. Oh, I've already switched the games here to talk about the big one between the Lions and the Buccaneers. Oh my goodness, is this a big game here all of a sudden? Wow. The Buccaneers are one of the pleasant surprises right now in the NFL with their 3 victories so far. They've scored, they're averaging, over 20 points per game, 21 points per game or so. And they've been effective, especially on third down. And Baker came out this week because I don't believe it, about his long term success anywhere. I believe that Baker, like I said, look, he's the guy when the Rams last year needed a quarterback on 2 days' notice, get Baker Mayfield. I mean, he will do it, right? The one thing that he did say, and they're saying the right things in Tampa, maybe this is a spot for Baker. And when you see Baker out there, it looks like the spot for Mayfield. In fact, you know, Tom, they went to the bowl and all that, but over the last, season or two, when Tom was kind of flailing there a little bit after that bowl, um, there were certainly some frustrating times on offense with the Buccaneers, right? Tom would be on the sidelines breaking Surface tablets, but in here this should be a pretty good game. I mean, Lions, of course, are the darlings of the league at this point. Maybe not getting the respect they deserve to be in the top tier with those other teams, but that's because the ascent to the top has been so rapid, and they have such a complete package over there. Yeah, Ferner, I'm not sure about that. I think yeah, I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but you know, Baker pretty much has his relationship out there and everything. He's this is a serious deal for Baker. And look, he started 75 games as an NFL quarterback. We're not getting into some type of these rookies or anything. He's been on the field plenty. Uh, 35 and 40. This series has been talk about the Lions and how the Bucks have been good, the Lions haven't. But these two teams have split the last 8 meetings, but they don't play. Even though they're in the same conference, haven't been playing as frequently. These teams used to be I think they were in the same conference for many years back when Tampa was playing with those other teams, but that was a long time ago. Tampa Bay has allowed just 6 touchdowns on their last 41 uh, drives, so pretty decent numbers there. Talked about Mayfield. They've been converting with him on third down. I think that's certainly important. Buccaneers coming off the bye here, so they're rested as well. And for the Lions, interesting to note that all the games so far. Oh, okay, great. Matt says they could be wearing the old the old orange uniforms out there today with the swashbuckling logo, eating the sword. What do they call it? Buccaneer Bob or Buccaneer Dan? What's his name? And yeah, I mean, home dog here. Oh, don't be giving away the secrets here necessarily. Boy, yeah, Blake, talking about the Titans here in this drive. Boy, uh, they are moving down the field quite nicely, and Tannehill kind of taking a shot here, overthrown. But um, this clock's running pretty quick. I think I could give it away now. I think, and maybe you knew, I'm on the under as my premium play in the game from London right now. We went under 42, so of course I'm on the under. Especially, how did I go over in a London game last week? That was ridiculous. And how did we end up on an over on a couple of games yesterday where I well okay, here we go. Gonna be on the Buccaneers here in this one, feeling like a home NFL. I'm NFL home dog. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of support out there, but the Buccaneers do have some positive momentum going right now, and they have a very strong pretty darn strong defense. I would think in this one. Detroit, they've been just awesome. I could, if I read you off the spread statistics, which many of you may already know, that it'd be hard to want to go against them at this point. Detroit 27-11 with Campbell in their last 38 games. Goff, good numbers. And Darren, are you talking about this game at 43 and a half, or are you talking about the London game we're watching right now? But here in this one, of course, it is I'm showing 40. I'm showing some 42 and a halves out there here at this point, actually. So don't want to tip my hand on the total. You know where I'm headed with it, probably. Oh, thanks. And the Titans game, sure. Yeah. And we're, 6.5. I see that Blake, he might be have a spoiler alert on me because I'll let you know where I am. But the incompletion just happened in the end zone right now, and I'm on 6:19 left in the first half. So am I faster or slower? That was almost a great catch. Actually, pretty decent coverage to make your contact right when the ball happened there. I think that was pretty good play. But I'm going to take the Buccaneers in this one. Uh, with the points, I do want to make it clear because I was on. Bill says he will go over in the game between the Lions and the Buccaneers. Do have some interesting notes here I can pass along to you on that. As to see the tie almost, they're faced to where here with a fourth down and 2. It looks like at the. I think you got to stay on the field. I mean, oh, they're going to kick it. All right. We a lot of critics like we talk about Staley and everything, and going for it when you're at your own 35 late in the game or whatever, even lower. But these are the situations I feel like when you talk about the new metrics and everything. And I know things are struggling for the Titans, so let's just get these 3 points and tie the game up here. And I'm okay with it too if I'm on an under. We're in the red zone, so we'll take 3 points out of it. But you know right? Oh, trust your defense. No, that's where you punt because you're at the end of the game. So get away from your 25, your 35. But when you're in the first quarter and you need 1 or 2 yards, I have a defense, right? I'm protecting 97 yard or 87 yards of carpet the other way. That's when I'm more apt to go for it, right? Because hey, all we got to do is stop you, even on 1 or 2 downs, where you get the ball, at the 30, 35 and come try it again, or maybe even have a great defensive possession as well. But I get it, especially if you're the Titan. Tell me, Blake, am I wrong? And why does you know why is Vrabel is wouldn't you categorize him? He does take the kick a little bit too frequently. All right. Anyways, I'll take the Bucks, but I just want to make it clear in case anybody's, Ramon. I was on a show this week on another channel where I said it was a pool. It was a show to win your office pool, and I did pick Detroit in that one. On this show, I am taking the Buccaneers. That just lets you know what I think of this game, right? I think that if anything, that's uh, clear that this game is going to come down to the wire and be decided by a field goal, one way or the other. I think since I feel that way, I'm taking the points, but. The Lions, there's no doubt, this has been an exceptional situation. They've outscored their opponents in the first half, 82-23 in the last 3 games. But just take note of this: this is the first game out of the 5 games the Lions have played so far that they're going to be outdoors. Um, and on grass. That shouldn't affect a great team like them at this point. And the funny thing is, the Lions always get the money in Tampa, but usually they're a dog. So I'm taking the dog here. Home dog, NFL. I'm almost crossing off the names on the screen. Cardinals and Rams. And the Rams, okay, we're 2-3 if you're a Rams fan, but there feels better than 2-3. It feels like you're, doing some good things. Even the losses, okay, yeah, 14 points in one game, 16 in another, but still, got to clean up those second halves, getting off to good starts. But last 4 weeks, the Rams have been outscored 55-19 in the second half, and their run game so inconsistent right now. They've had some strong performances. Twice they've run for 100 yards or so. I think they were short there actually, but there are 3 games where they've had no running game at all, and then those are the ones they lost. So you got to try to have some running game. But does that line, has it moved at all? I typed this in, when I was typing in all the lines, and look at that 7. It just stands out to me as not making much sense as it continues to go up. Because if anything, the Cardinals are, they're a money making underdog team. Yeah. Are they 1-4? Yeah. Are they 3-2 against the spread? You better believe it. And this is the NFL. I mean, the Cardinals probably going to cover this game, I would think. They're 19-11 against the spread in their last 30 road games in conference, in division, and they've been the worst team in the division, you know, in the history of divisions. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking over the last, out of the pandemic, even last 10 years since they, made that, crazy Super Bowl appearance. Probably, the Cardinals are, the worst team in the division year in and year out, but they're always getting enough points. And if anything, they've showed here with Dobbs, this team can cover some spreads. So taking a touchdown, you better believe we're taking a touchdown in this one. Again, office pool show. I did pick the Rams to win this game, and why wouldn't they? But McVay, 17-20 against the spread as a home favorite. Rams pretty good against the spread, coming off of a loss, 21-13 here. But again, laying a touchdown. I see the Ravens in the open here, getting out to midfield, and so far this season, this is a league-wide trend, but division home favorites are 4-9 against the spread so far this season. Division home favorites, so playing your division at home, laying points, 4-9 against the spread. We've seen some big spreads in the NFL. Most of them are under this number. This constitutes as a big spread in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. This is plenty of points for anybody who likes to take an underdog. I'm sure that I'll just take a look and see, but I feel like sharps are going to be here on. No, no, no. Looking at the splits I'm looking at, and again, that can be argued, but I don't think the sharps are necessarily piling in here on the Cardinals. I'm still taking them. I don't care. I'm as sharp as any of them, as any of them. You guys have some comments on this game already in here. Hey, Jimmy, hello. Bill says take Cooper to get his yards over. And look, I love this Rams. Well, I'm on Puka Nakua. Who isn't? Right? It's the real deal. It's not a fluke. I don't think Puka, barring any injury or it doesn't look like the type of guy who gets injured, quite frankly. Um, just want to say it like that. And here comes some props as well. Hey, Milwaukee Bucks just got steamed in the NFL tonight. If you're interested in Milwaukee, that line's going to be on the move right now. They were getting a point tonight from the Lakers on the road, but it looks like, and a lot of these might be, maybe we'll see less, you know, less LeBron. Interesting matchup, certainly, with Milwaukee and the Lakers here tonight. This one's on the move, though, and I'm showing what Milwaukee was a 1 point dog. And if you could get it, do it now because Milwaukee's a 2 point favorite against the Lakers tonight. Maybe the Lakers going to be short of personnel. Maybe LeBron won't play or something like that. Davis, something, whatever the case may be. That game is on the move for Milwaukee tonight. All right, yeah, Ravens making it look quickly. This offense is looking good right now, moving down the field like this for sure. So, no, I'm not happy. All right, in this one we can move on if you want, but I do have a little bit more info on the game, but certainly if we can just you got Dobbs, not going to take you anywhere, but again he seems to get it done. They seem to get the money. I want the Cardinals here against the Rams. They won't be able to hang on, I wouldn't think, necessarily to uh, any kind of lead if they get one. They like to give it up, so to speak. And this is also the first time the Rams have been favored this season too. Ray likes the Rams. You guys all like the Rams. That would not be a consensus play. All right, got another one more in the afternoon. Oh boy, the much talked about game here between the Eagles and the Jets. You got a road favorite here with the Eagles up to 6.5 now, and the total 42.5. In this one with the undefeated Eagles. And, well, like the Jets, hey, we already know that Aaron Rodgers is probably just a week or two away. I'm kidding you, but it seems like that's what the way they're trying to talk it up. The miracle of miracle makes you wonder if he knows his body, right? Hey, Aaron Rodgers knows one thing he knows, it's his body. And you wonder if he was able to maybe limit the damage to his ankle, to his uh, Achilles cap, whatever. Everything's tied in down there, and that's why you try to prevent it. And he, you know, as crazy as it sounded, uh, he is going to, says try to be ready to come back. Now, this type of injury, one thing we have seen about it is that the timetable continues to shorten up in professional athletes, much like other uh, corrective surgeries for athletes. Remember, the knee surgeries used to take you out, and of course, it depends on how much damage and everything. But some of those, knee surgeries where you'd get it and you'd be out. Now you could be out in just a couple of weeks. It all just heals. And anyways, let's talk about it right now with these two and the position they're in currently. Look, I know the Sharps are all over the Jets. Yeah, the Phillies have been steamed a little bit. Every time it gets down to 6.5, it does seem to go back to 7. There's plenty of sevens out there. I'm sure most square books are still going to be hanging a 7 here in this one. But it does seem like the Sharps want to continue to take the Jets here in this situation. And, well, I might consider myself sharp, and might end up agreeing with them. Who wants any part of the Eagles at this point? But where is the flat spot going to come? Can they really just roll through this whole deal right now? They're 3-0 against the spread on the road already, and look, they're scoring. They 3-1-1 against the spread. They finished the game strong. They've outscored their last four opponents 65-36 in the second half. And you have Jalen, who has live sports at quarterback. 11 touchdowns on their last 39 drives. Now, the Eagles are 3-0. Like I said, 3-0 against the spread on the road. They were favored every time. They're going to be favored every time. We know that. The Jets, they just get off to such bad starts, man. Slow starts every time. They've got to avoid that. They've been outscored 74-36 in the first half. And they, of course, have to, get a little bit more from Wilson. They've converted just 11 of their last 48 third down plays. Jets 7-10 against the spread. Their last 17 is a home dog. They've gone over in 3 of their last 4. And this is an interconference series, so the teams only meet once every 3 years. So I don't know. I know NFL trend in division. I'm really into NFL trends. Hello to Gerardo. Jimmy he's got the Cards, but here's Bill who says take it up to 10. I'm trying to find my way to the Jets here on the air and seeing if anybody will agree. Because where does the flat spot come? That's all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, this feels like the game where it's supposed to be the flat spot. Eagles have won 12 straight games against the Jets. I didn't want to say it. Like I said, it doesn't mean anything. That's like a 35-year sample size. Trust me on that.
Final.
Now, granted, they've won every time, but we've been through, different with this franchise, different with different coaches. Talking about the Jets now, and the Eagles cover every time, and the Eagles have won here by 15, 7, and 7 over the last decade or so in the 3 tilts that they've had. So I'm on the Jets. I'm that guy. I mean, nobody loves a home underdog. My numbers say take the Eagles, and I'm going to ignore it because I like home underdogs. I like, situations like this, and I'm leaving 6.5 on the screen, and nobody's gonna. Jimmy's on the Cards, he's on the Cards. So nobody's on the Jets with me. I can't even wait around here, but backdoor has to be in effect here. The Eagles, the one thing they're showing, so we're talking about those great starts, right? But the Eagles are, the one thing they're showing is a little bit of drawback, right? Like, granted, they've covered 3 times, but they've given up some leads. Remember, they've given up leads. They got into that weird game with the Patriots in the first game of the year. But I'm on the Jets here in this one, and I'll have my tail between my legs if it doesn't come through tomorrow, because nobody wants the Jets, but I'll take them. And one more Sunday night. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. We don't have to spend too much time on this. They already say I talk too much, but the Bills are over 2 touchdown favorites here against the Giants tonight, and that doesn't feel very good either. No, Dan, you got Ty God, man. Come on. This is going to be the turning point for the Giants. What do you mean? It does feel just awful right now. Like it's not Right there you go, Kay. Thank you. Nice to see you. And don't forget, Ferner. I do thank you for that comment about the Jets defense. And you know, you have that, but there are some issues actually in the injury department right now with the Jets. And Gardner is out of this game. Reed is out of this game. I mean, they are just blistered in the secondary. Hardy out. Eccles out. I mean, they got that basically the whole secondary's out. There's not a lot here to go with the Jets. It's a bad situation, but I'm just about NFL home dogs. And maybe those are when you have cluster injuries. That's the problem, and that's where the Jets. You talk about that defense, but those guys are they're out. They're out. They are out, out, out. They're not questionable. Not so injuries. Uh, the Eagles have their share of injuries as well in this game. Plenty of it. Slay's not going to play. Evans isn't going to play. So you got secondary issues there as well. Maddox. He's been out for a while. Hey, here's a little bit more steam in this one. You've got the Grizzlies and the Heat going over 222.5. If you're interested in this one, get on it. This one's going to be on the move here in the NBA. Hey, Smoke and Mirrors. Good to see you. Good morning. Hey, I saw Smoke and Mirrors last night in one of those uh, unnecessarily long all day football chat rooms, commenting on something. I don't remember what it was, but I was there, Smoke. I saw you. And Bill says, can't we flex this thing yet and get the Giants out of here? Almost, we're going to be there soon enough, but and that's why, right? So even for the Bills, it's got to feel like a dead spot. And of course, I mean, if I've got my choice, Daniel Jones, maybe I've got Ty God. I'm willing to roll with Ty God. And the Milwaukee Bucks are getting steamed as well right now. I just want to throw that in there. We just saw the total move, so we already talked about the. Oh, I'm sorry, I already gave you that one. The Bucks and the Lakers. Forget it. Oh man, Ravens in the red zone again already. Oh no, I'm behind you there. Unless they just return the uh, punt. Man, Blake, I'm way behind you. Okay. Yeah, I see a big punt return here. Whoa! What's going on, Titans special teams? Need the punter to knock him out. Oh my gosh. All right. Anyways, this feels like the ugly. Well, we know it's the ugly game of the day, and yeah, let's. Jimmy, thank you. We'll take the. I'm trying. I'm telling you, I'm going to trying to talk myself off the Giants here at this point. Uh, Blake says, "Is Saquon in there?" No, I don't think Saquon's in here at all. This is a for situation right now for the uh, Giants. Talk about hitting rock bottom. All right, Barkley questionable for this one, so I guess he could get in. But what's he really done? So far this season. He's got a couple of touchdowns, gets about 14 or 15 carries a game. And boy, I'm not saying maybe the Ravens will score a touchdown on this drive, Blake, but I will say this, right? Um, Jackson does have some red zone issues, doesn't he? Doesn't necessarily, maybe, we don't. All right. Anyways, in this one with the Giants and the Bills, it just feels like the Bills are just such a runaway favorite. But this is the National Football League. You just can't do this to me, and I've got to take the Giants in this one, no matter what. I don't care. I'm gonna cross off the name. I'm gonna cover the word Giants up, and put any NFL name up there, and take 15 points. Good luck tonight, you guys, with the NFL. And hey, I'm gonna have a big night because I'm on totals. And just so if I could, real quick, just want to show uh, NFL over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can get my premium picks, like I said, but just take a look at some of the records here for NFL from the cappers. And this, we are fully documented over here at Tony's Picks. And you can drop this down and take a look like, oh, Ramon, oh, all he does is totals. So you can actually take it down here to totals and see the records of the cappers in those categories. And there you see, look, I'm 25 and 13 with my totals over the last 30 days here on the site. I know that that's 65%. We know you have to hit 52.38% to make money betting with a tout. You got to increase that percentage a little bit, even as high as 55 or 56% to cover that. And I'll get you even a higher percentage than that. I shoot for 62% on some of this stuff because of all there is, all the complications that involve all this stuff. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right. That's NFL for today. Thank you, Ferner. He wants to go over in the late game, and that's probably you'll be hearing from me later. Hopefully, if you'll subscribe today to my premium pick packages. Let me turn off that Discord. Sounds like we're popping off in there, but I invite you to the Discord where I brought you a free winner last night in the Discord. Anybody who are hanging out, what you do is you put on the notifications and you can get more free winners right to your phone. You don't have to sit around the computer. But I brought you a late winner last night. I don't know if anybody got on it, but I said go over in the LA Galaxy game and go over 3 goals. That's hard to do, even in that league. But it was 2-2 was the final score. So bought you a free winner in the Discord. Just go in the Discord and subscribe to the put it on your notifications, have it come right to your phone. You get free winners directly to your phone. Also, I put other information, like breaking information, and I think we're pretty fast on some of that, guys, aren't we? I have the line service, so I don't need to wait for you know one certain Schefter or CBS or somebody there. Somebody's watching it buzzes me immediately, and then I try to pass it along as fast as we can. So that's just some of the things we do here. I mean, this is no joke. The crew here at Tony's Picks. I might, come on here talking like a bumbling fool, but when it comes to sports information, we are doing very serious work. I would argue, as all these companies doing videos and everything like that. I mean, we are pretty serious here. This is no joke. All right. Hey, let's talk a couple games in the National Hockey League. I'll get you out of here. Um, but I've got some hockey to discuss with you today. Just 2 games on the ice, with the Lightning going up here against the Senators. And no premiums yesterday, and not sure we're going to get to them today either because of this hot NFL card. I like to play early, and I will play early, especially if it's a isolated card. But still acquiring those data points. Yeah, even I do it. And I've got Tampa Bay here and Ottawa. Ottawa minus $1.20. And look at this total: 7 under 20. Oh boy! I'm going to grade myself at 6.5 over here. I think it's even could even be a little bit higher than this, so I'm going to grade it at 6.5 over because I want to take the under. So I'm going to go kind of conservative here, and I'll call it 6.5 over 25. But I'm sure the line is probably a little bit higher than this, but I am going to take the under. I know believe me, you guys, this game is expected to have goals. There's no doubt about it. And the games with high totals right now, they've kind of been going over so far. I think I had those The league-wide numbers aren't significant enough yet. I haven't calculated that big card from last night, so I can't comment too much yet on uh, league over under. That was a pretty big night. Remember, we only had 18 games going into last night here so far this season. And here in this one, let me see. I'm even having reservations about my goalie announcements here. Let me refresh and see what we got. Could be Jonas Johansson in there again tonight for the Lightning here. Could be Anton Forsberg. I might switch it up here actually. Um, eh, I'm not. I'm not sure at this point what these guys are going to do. And these are night games tonight, also. So it looks like we need a little bit further confirmation on the goalie situation here tonight. Kay says definitely going over. And I'm glad they are, Ferner. Like I said here, if you were here, but my premium play is on the under in this game. And did any of you buy the pre? I'll say it like that. Did any of you buy the premium pick? Because if you did, uh, my write up on the game kind of explained. Let me fix it. Uh, one correction here. Let's see. All right. Uh, my write up on the game commented on Tucker and in London a little bit of flavor about field goals in this game, actually. So feel a little like we have it right with there is 12 points obviously so far in the game. But all right, Senators here for Ray tonight. So all right. No, I had the goalies right. Gosh darn it. I don't even want to show the graphics now because I got to fix it. I'm sure they're not actually confirmed, but two of the three sites that I use are listing those original goalies that I had in there. Tompkins, of course, they're gonna have Tompkins in there for the Lightning, and Corpusalo right now for the Senators. Oh, and let me spell Senators right. That would help as well. Where's Thomas? I'm typing on the keyboard. Hopefully, I'm not making those noises. Okay, here we go. In this one, well, I think I'm pretty much covered. I mean, I'm on the under here. Uh, darn it! I thought I fixed that. Thought I called them the right Senators. Here it is. Shaunters. There we go. And I think Kay, I'm just being contrarian here because I really feel like everyone's going to. I think the over is going to get a lot of attention here in this game. And Blake says, let's get an NFL team in Hawaii. We can't even get a stadium built in Hawaii. We have issues. So I feel like this is just going to be such a heavy consideration for the over tonight. I want to be contrarian here and end up on the under. That 6.5 over is probably, if you go 6.5, it's probably over 40. But I'm going to end up being able to take a 7 or even up to 7.5 and only have to, lay upwards maybe of $1.55 or so. And that's something I'm probably going to end up doing. But I'll take the under here on the show, and I don't know if we'll get a side out of this one. I'm really torn now here with Senators minus $1.20 because to me, uh, right now, let me have my ratings up here. I'm using the standings board as my ratings. I don't know if maybe you can see it, but I haven't actually adjusted in a few days. But we'll get to that. Taking the under 6.5 with the Lightning and the Senators with Tompkins and Corpusalo. Steam play. And let's see, Darren goes under, and he's ready to go with the next game, so let's do it. We've got the Hurricanes here going up against the Ducks. And I tried the Ducks are on a back-to-back here off of yesterday's heavy schedule, and I did try the Ducks, and even with a back-to-back, I'm going to probably try them again. Look, they were playing Vegas last night. And here you have Carolina. Like I said, they got steamed while we were on the air. It might not even be 270. Like I said, it might even be higher. It might be 290 right now. I'm going to update the line because this one definitely got hit. And like I said, it had a low of maybe 250, but I think most of the books were opening it closer to 270, showing 285 at one sharp offshore book. Total 6 over 25 looks pretty accurate at this point. If the scoreboard knocks me over, just call the ambulance. And let's see, Ranta and Dostal in goal tonight for these two. See if we got that one right. Yeah, that one looks like it'll be the matchup here in this one with these two clubs. So, yeah, last night, Ducks were able to get the win and the Knights, of course, were able to get the win and the puck line cover. Steam came in on the Ducks yesterday, so I said, why not try them here? And yeah, would I try 2.5? Didn't matter yesterday, but we did give out the total under in the game yesterday. So, but I'm gonna try the Ducks here actually again, plus goal and a half, and see if we are if the Ducks. I say we Ducks are definitely one of my teams. Their minor league franchise is in San Diego, so I've been to a few Gulls games in my day, covered the Gulls, did my Tony T stringing work with the Gulls, stringing old IHL hockey games before they were even when they were a beer league. All right, give me the Ducks here again. I'll try the Ducks tonight, and we're gonna get that NHL on track here a little bit. It's already looking pretty good. I think we've already solved the first night or two. Okay, quick look at hockey there. 2 games tonight, and we got one big game here: the Aces and the Liberty, and Liberty here. Backs are to the wall, but they are the dog here, and nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, no reason to think the Liberty can't come in here. I would think and win this game against Las Vegas. I mean, look, everybody talked about how they had already supplanted the Aces as the best team in the league. Now you go on the road where the Aces have one of the best records, of course. Yeah, I get it. But I don't I don't think that I think the Liberty are that good. I think this is going to be an epic series. I think the league is actually it's just not very smart to play your championship games at 3 p.m. going up against NFL football. But again, I know that it's easy for us as gamblers to say that and you're making a mistake and do this and don't you care about the ratings. But the one thing about this league is, and again, you do kind of want to cater to casual fans, especially with the championship series. So that's maybe where there is a mistake. But the fans of this league, they aren't necessarily going to be like, hey, you're playing on the same day as NFL. Fans in this league are devoted to this league, and there will be a great crowd in that arena, in the world's most famous arena. And here's the thing: you've got the, you know, you have the Liberty. They built that star team just for this situation. Yeah, sure, the Aces got the money with those first 2 games, and we were on them in the second. We got on the Aces on the second game. It was apparent, but I do believe that this one, I think this one probably should go the distance. We should be dealing with really an epic an epic series just because of the quality of these teams. I have the Liberty today for sure. As a home dog, I'll just take them on the money line. I've got the Liberty to win this game, and they might win it quite comfortably. They should probably be the slight favorite. Now, the Aces are just, the Liberty have plenty of issues to me defensively, but I think their offense kind of overcomes it. Now, I do have, I thought the comments about by Hammond about why she thought she cost Asia Wilson the MVP. I think it's just lip service to a certain extent. Not that she's that type of person. I'm just saying she chose to say that just to try to deflect some of the attention off of it, right? Stewart, here's the thing: if you like the Liberty to win the series, if you can still get Stewart to be the MVP, that's the play. You don't take the Liberty here to win the series. You take Breanna Stewart to win the MVP because that's what's going to happen. Her matchup against Wilson is tough, but I think Stewart, you know, I don't actually think will overcome because I think eventually the Aces win the championship. But if you think you want to get the best price right now in the Liberty, just take Stewart to win the MVP and not because I don't see the other. I don't see Ionescu. I don't see Jones. You know, being the star. If somehow they get over this, it's because Stewart will have succeeded against Wilson, which really is the deciding factor. I think in those games in Vegas. I think Wilson, is the MVP, quite frankly, and because of her complete game. Right? I don't know. It feels like they didn't take into consideration her defensive capabilities because I think Wilson, at the position. But that being said, I'm taking the Liberty today just because I think that they have a quality enough team. They can, maneuver this around and win this game. So I can get a monitor to watch this one, even though it's in the middle of 7 NFL games. Nobody's commenting because everyone's going to be watching football. All right. Oh, 4.5 to go here with 12 points. I think I could be less satisfied or more satisfied. Should I say it right? But Ravens here going in again here possibly. I'm sure they'll hold no field goal unless they scored already because, like I said, for whatever reason, Jackson has these red zone issues. All right, you guys. Let me see if I've got my NBA here. Like I said, these lines came out as I was on the air, so I just don't know if I have a Ravens touchdown. Okay. Sorry, Blake. Sorry, guys. Okay. Never apologize. Here we go. NBA, real quick, if I got this. Don't know if I'm going to have a lot here necessarily, but the picks were pretty strong, right? So let's just keep rolling with them. And yesterday, I say they were strong. Like I'm just talking like, we won everything, which we did. We gave out on the show. Atlanta, they won by 5. We gave out Atlanta minus 3.5 or 4. And we also gave out over in the Portland, Utah game yesterday, and it was way over. So here we go. I think we've got a few plays certainly today, including the Oklahoma City and Charlotte game to go. Let me make sure it didn't go too high here because we want the over 230. Yeah, we can do that. Over Oklahoma City and Charlotte. These start at 5:10 Eastern, 2:10 Pacific. No premiums yet in NBA preseason, but these have been very solid. If you've been on the if you've been with me here for a few days of NBA preseason, Oklahoma City and Charlotte over, and Okay. Memphis and Miami under 225. Remember, didn't we report on the show that one got hit to the over? I like the under there. See, I'll fade the sharps. I'll fade the steam. You guys, I'm not always a steam chaser. Usually, I am though. Actually, in preseason, in smaller market, NBA preseason isn't. It is a small market considering the regular season. It's not a terribly small market, but all small markets. More steam chasing in small markets, like when I would crush all those other sports on here. The sports they banned me from picking. Just kidding. No one buys it. So no one. You could. They blocked the extra point though. That'll help. Maybe we'll win by half a point. So all the sports that I can crush. We're not really selling, but because people don't buy them, and that's interesting, right? Because why wouldn't they? The limits are lower. We know that, but all right. So the Miami and Memphis under. Uh, Lakers and Milwaukee. We talked about the total in that one, right? Because of the personnel. No personnel information yet. Okay, those other two are stronger. I do like the over in Milwaukee and Lakers tonight. That's my free play. We're going to go fast here. These aren't handicaps necessarily. So just, dial it back a little bit. And if you're watching, again, these are some night basketball games. Probably going to be all totals as usual here. Let's see. Uh, Sorry I'm doing it like this, you guys, but the numbers came out while I was on the air. Chicago and Denver. I'm on. It opened 222. It's now 219 and a half. That's close. I like the under. I like the under there and lean to Denver. It might be going up too high. Lean under, small play under. Those first two were stronger. The Lakers, that over was okay. This one's even a little bit weaker than that last one, but I'm giving out the under here. Chicago and Denver. And then one more, Warriors and Kings. There's also another game with the Karen's Taipans from the NBL, I believe, against the Raptors. Raptors are favored by 31. I think I'm 2-3 in those international matchups. So we'll leave that alone. Sacramento and the Warriors got another under here, you guys. So under in all four of those. That one. So the OKC Charlotte over, pretty strong for a preseason game. Pretty darn strong. Memphis Miami under, pretty strong. Pretty darn strong. Milwaukee Lakers over. Okay, over. A little play there. Chicago Denver under. I like it. It's a little play there, And Golden State Sac under, pretty good play. Probably put that one third. So those first two, 1A and 1B, Golden State Sac next, Milwaukee Lakers next, and then Chicago Denver. A little bit of a strength there. All right. Hope that's okay to do that, you guys. Those are some NBA picks. Right from the, my computer with my numbers. The line moves over here that just came out, and a little bit of hocus pocus, hopefully. All right, thanks a lot, you guys. Do I have anything else? You guys, anything on the early card you want to talk about? Any injuries? I'll let you go. But last chance. Let me see here. One thing I could move on. Okay, maybe a couple free plays since I gave out. Thanks, Ferner. San Francisco and Cleveland. This was certainly going to make the card with under in San Francisco and Cleveland. This one checks almost all the boxes, except now even the weather's hit. No Deshaun Watson. The thing's gone all the way down to 36. I'm going to give out the under as a free play. We previewed the game earlier in the week, but San Francisco and Cleveland, I still like the under. It's all the way down to 36 right now, with the news that Watson's going to be out, Cleveland wasn't even sure about, DTR being in there. They were thinking maybe we should have somebody else play quarterback. So doesn't look great. But San Francisco's situation is kind of like, it's almost like one of those, hey, do we get on Cleveland anyways because it's an NFL game? I think this one actually feels a little bit different than the Giants game. Like maybe the uh, Browns are really in for it here. Bills at least, or the Giants at least with Taylor. I want to think that Taylor can, you know, keep him in the game a little bit. While this game feels like Cleveland right now, this situation doesn't feel real comfortable for the Browns and now the conditions, but it, you know, even this has to slow down the 49ers a little bit if we do have the blustery conditions that are expected. Look, a lot of those games, and I got caught last night a little bit with a couple of totals that I tried to go over in some of those upper Midwest games that, the totals were dropping, and I got burned by it. So, uh, nonetheless, can the 49ers, truly go in? And if anything, Cleveland trying to throw everything they can with their defense, right, to try to stay in the game today, especially with uh, what's the guy's name? Walker in there at quarterback instead of DTR. Again, yeah, maybe DTR, maybe he got overwhelmed. Um, that the time he was in there was such a disaster that maybe they didn't want to go back. Maybe he hasn't looked good in practice, whatever the case may be. You can't just sit here and say, change the quarterback, do what I say. You might not know what's going on. Um, you know, just like I was commenting with that other quarterback situation, and, they know what's best. So I'll just give out the under in that game with San Francisco and Cleveland. A little additional play here, I guess, moving it. Uh, Maybe Carolina and where were the under other injury situation? Carolina and Miami, right, had a key um, injury going on. Let's see. Wilson is doubtful, but man, and they're having a little bit of cluster situation there, of course, with A Shane out right now currently for Miami. So look, everything's been clicking for them. And Carolina, they're having, obviously a situation, where they're not looking too good, and people are pointing fingers right now. And I hope Bryce Young is, going to be able to survive all this and all that. But that one has been a runaway train as well, with Miami up to minus 14. We laid it on the show, believe it or not. Thanks a lot, you guys. Enjoy the day. I'll be back in just about 3 hours reading off the college lines. So join me right here at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, with opening college lines, where I'll be covering all the college games for next week. The opening line moves from the Circa, from DraftKings, from Bovada, representing the three types of lines: of online, offshore, uh, major U.S. book, and a Vegas book. So it's an interesting show, and the lines can change 3, 4, 5 points in a matter of minutes when those big limits open. They take a hit for 2 dimes and maybe sometimes move the line a point or two. So don't worry, Rick. We're going to hang in there with the Titans, but I know Blake's feeling a little bit all my Titans fans feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the way things are going for this club right now. Uh, need them back home a little bit while this thing's spiraling, trying to get these wins together at this point. So again, I'm on the under full game. I feel a little bit comfortable with it right now, but especially if the Titans, not putting anything up currently, 18 points here as we go, not even quite to halftime yet. So please, thank you, everybody. Like, smash, like, subscribe, all that. Appreciate you guys very, very much joining me here on the morning steam. Be back tomorrow. We'll be talking baseball. We'll be talking hockey. We'll be talking Monday Night Football. tomorrow as well, and we get ready for getting closer and closer to NBA. And hang with me on these NBA preseason picks, man. I think we're going to really do some damage here. So far, so good. I think on these totals. I mean, that's my game, and you guys know that. Just take a look at those handicapper leaderboards. You go down the list. I mean, I'm all about totals, so maybe that hurts a little bit, but that's where we do our damage. We got sides, we got total, we got sides right here on the show. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Join me tomorrow. More morning steam.